Okay, let's look at the magnificence of the S5G pattern. We have a tab going to the left and the tab going to the right. Let's change the color, make it a little thicker so we can, really draw it out. Now the G I like to make, I believe, is blue. So we'll just go with a nice blue on that. I think that's some kind of blue up there. The S5G is a gigantic 7L pattern. Okay, so now the 6 isn't really included in the S5G. And by the way, when you change colors but you go back, it doesn't affect your setup up here. So that's an interesting little tool we can use at times. So the the S5G is actually a gigantic 7L pattern. Okay, we'll look at it that way. Oh, I'm doing too far down there. Now I can't adjust these. I can't adjust them, so I have to redo them. In Paint, you can adjust them. Here is our. It's a gigantic 7L pattern. So you see how the S5G is an easy pattern. Okay, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that well. Sorry about that. It's a little hard to see, but there's the 7 and there's the L right there. Okay. So there we go. It's easy to play because you just start on the 6 and you do this. There's the foot of the L. Here's the stem of both the 7 and the L, and then you do the 7 there. There's the hat of the 7. The top of the 7's blowing and the wind is warped away. Okay, so that's why the S5G is an easy pattern. Same thing with the S4E. The S4E is an L7 pattern. Now let's look at the S4E. Okay, so we find an E, here's the E, and here's the S4E, and I'm going to use a different color, because that color wasn't bright enough anyway. Let's just go with like something cool, like looks like not a violet. I'm not a painter, so and I'm getting confused. I forget what the red color is. So there's violet, and then there's the one that's really cool red color. I'm not sure what that is. I forget, that escapes me. The S4E is this. Okay, and this is why I made recognize the pattern. Okay, this is going to be a pattern that I remember, and I can play that S4E. It's no problem starting it in the key of C up here from B. Okay, now what is it about the S4E that's so easy? I think it's violet, and violet or purple, something like that, indigo or something. The S4E is an L7 pattern. So what we got here is the L part. I'll just do it quickly, and then the 7 part. So you see how you can kind of select your patterns to make easy shapes like that. Kind of an L7 there. There's the L. I didn't equal that. It's like a square, like a really like pixelized L7, kind of like that. Okay. So that's what that is. So the pattern was arranged to be easy like that. So before I lose my train of thought, let's go back to what we're doing today. So let's look at the L shape, the S4E here. We no longer have an easily identifiable pattern. We want to make the pattern easy for the root 3/6, root 3 in the minor, or root 3/5, root 3 in the major, but this is how they would go. They're still part of that same L shape. All right, so we're always looking for something that bounds our pattern. Okay, what the little pattern that we're playing, what is it bound by? So we know it's not going to go any further. There's our L7 right there. There's L, and there's 7. Okay, I know it looks like a grid, but you gotta. I shouldn't have connected these two right there. Well, let's see if we can fix that a minute. So we'll just do a different color for the 7. I always did that. I always did a different color for the 7. Okay, so there's our 7. It's an L7 pattern. It's either 7L or it's L7. Okay, so now we know our pattern's bound by an L7. We're going to start with root, root 3, 6, root 3. That's the L7 pattern. Notice we're not playing up 6 strings anymore. This is an important pattern because the S4E sits on top of the S3XL, which is our long pattern. So let's see how that would work if we wanted to go into a long pattern after an S4E. Like that. So the S4E is an important pattern because it's easy to recognize. Same thing with, so let's finish with this a second. Same thing with the S5G. It's a 7L pattern. It's easy to recognize. So the S4E takes care of the E shape. The S5G takes care of the G shape. Okay, and here's our major, here's our minor. Okay, so if we were going to play this S4E minor triad from the root, it'd be like that. Now the S4E, if we're going to do an E-shaped, an E-shaped cage like this. Whoops. Okay. We know we're going to be bound by that E pentatonic. So we're going to play our way up there, and we're going to see when we have E, the relative minor is going to be D shaped. So we're looking for a D minor shaped A minor up there. So we've got, this is the bottom part of that A minor that nobody knows about. Okay. All right. Now, are we sure about that now? With the E shape there, okay, the relative 6 is definitely going to be D minor shaped A minor. So it's D minor. Sorry, I was thinking A minor shaped A minor. See, I always do that. I always confuse the chord with the shape. So I know where that's going to go. Right up there. I didn't even have to use a pattern to get that, because I knew it was D minor shaped there. But if we do it with just raw string shapes, you know, we want to do raw string shapes in the E shape, I'll show you what we do there. Okay, a little rest for the eyes. With root 3, 6 minor, we start on the E shape and we're going to go clockwise. We're going to go root, then to the C3, then to the G string shape 6 root, then to the D string shape the 3rd, okay, then to the A string shape the 6th, and to the, which is warped up, and to the root string shape, E string shape root. It's easy because I'm doing it in the key of C. Now, when we go to the substitution, it wouldn't be you wouldn't be pretending it's the key of C anymore. You pretend that the substitution is the root key. So you'll be going like to the key of F for the 4th, to the key of G for the 4th, but in that F key, you're only going to be playing that or that, and that's your E minor. That's your parent G major. Okay, so that's how that works. So you know, that would be the rest of the pattern there if we went up, but we want to learn the S4E pattern. That gives us the bottom of that D minor, which nobody knows, and hardly anybody can bar it easily. So far, so good. This worked good. We had a lesson yesterday, okay, and a little word about the minor substitutions. So the 2 minor is substitute the 4 shape. That means if, let's say we're in the E, we're going to substitute the 4th of E, so we're going to go counterclockwise to the A shape, and then we're going to play 3/6 root from the A shape. Okay, now when you're in A shape, that means the relative minor is going to be G minor shape. So it would be a G minor shape D minor if the 4th was F, that kind of thing. And same thing with 3 minor sub the 5 shape. If we're in root E shape, the 5th is going to be a head 1 is 5th. See how 5th goes clockwise. It's going to be the C minor, the C shape for the 5th, but we're only going to be playing this much of it. And we're also allowed to play the 4th. So we can only play. That's how much we're playing of the substituted shape. With the F, we're only playing this much. Okay, because we can't play its 4th, or can't play that 4th. With the G shape, can't play the 7th. All right, so that's how that works. I knew if I did a little bit of that stuff, I would kind of lose my train of thought about what we were talking about. But when we do that, that's right. I was just covering this briefly. For the 3rd minor, we substitute the 5th shape over the E box. We're going to play the C box and E box. A little reminder that when we're doing an E chord up here, let's say an E shaped C, to go to a C shaped C, we got to expand the cage down again. So try pentatonic. So the entire E cage is actually it's a C shaped G at that point. As you know, when you have G, if you go ahead 1 letter in the word cage, the C-A-G-E-D, that's going to be E minor. Okay, if we start from the G here and we go around here, start from a substituted C shape and go around here, that's going to outline an E minor. So the wife's home, and we'll have to finish up right now. Let's go back to a couple of charts ago. Went in the wrong direction there. Okay, so again, this is how we do it. So let's look at it real quick. For the C shape, we're going to build from the C. So these are the 2 patterns we're going to play for the minor triad and for the A minor. They're all going to be A minor in this quick discussion here. Major triad, we're going to start, this is the pattern we're going to play, and then just throw the C on top of it for the minors. For the D, we're just going to do the same thing here. We're going to start from the 2 and then throw the 3 on top of the 7 there, okay, and then throw the D on top of all of that for the D shape. So it's we've got C, we've got D. Let's do it pentatonically. Let's look at the E shape. Come over here to the E shape. We're going to start on the 7 root 2. We're going to play all the way up to here. From this 2, 3, 4, now we're going to substitute. Just look at that D shape 2, 3, 4. So from that 2, 3, 4 over there, we're going to start again up here for 5, 6. Okay, in the E shape, and then 7 root 2, finishing off string number 1 or string number 6, tippy top string on the E box there. Okay, now let's go to the G. The G, we're going to use S5G. It's going to take us all the way up to the G. This is actually not an S5G. This is an S6G. But so that's my bad there. Hey, it's been a great lesson, and we'll see you next time. Keep watching, keep playing.